Well, we love catching up with two of our favourite people. It's Britt and Kate Rahm from Focus on the Family Australia, looking lovely this morning as well.
Thank you. Yes, I've got a new wife. She's had a major haircut.
Yes,
Oh,
I love
well
it,
done.
Kate. There we go.
Very nice. I
looking
hadn't even
very
noticed, so-
Yeah,
glamorous.
good one, Robbo. Good one. Anyway, maybe that's a topic in
Appreciate
itself.
that.
How to be more, observant.
Observant, that's right.
So good.
We're going to talk to you guys about stress today. So it's obviously something that we all have different stresses that happen to us externally, internally. But how do we identify and then deal with stress in our lives?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, stress gets a bad rap because we do need a level of stress to develop, to build resilience, to be able to cope when things don't go to plan, and to be able to bounce back. So stress helps us formulate that, and our children need to have it, and we as adults need to continue to build up those muscles to cope when things don't go to plan. Stress by itself can actually exhibit in multiple ways. It can actually do physiological changes to increase your heart rate, increase your blood pressure, give you gut problems, it gives you headaches, you have difficulty sleeping, or you're sleeping all the time. Everyone's going to identify it differently, but the key to it when you is to recognize it when it's encroaching or affecting your everyday living. And that's when you need to be more proactive.
Yeah. All right, so what are some ways we can do that? I mean, obviously this is going to be very individual too, because as you said, everyone
different
reacts
people, different
differently. But what are some things we can be looking out for?
Well, it is actually really interesting because some people will say, I'm not stressed, but their body's taken it on.
Yeah.
So they'll say, I'm not stressed about anything. I mean, there might be things going on in their world, but they go, I'm really not stressed, but their body is crashing.
Yeah.
And so that actually can be an indicator that, yes, you actually are under a lot of pressure, but your body has taken it on rather than you recognizing that this is quite a heavy load and you need assistance.
Yeah.
So we do have to be aware. I guess self-awareness is so important for issues around stress. In terms of looking for it for ourselves, sometimes we are not aware, and we can ask other people around us. And hopefully we've got people around us who are aware of our everyday, because we can be a certain way every day, but then, and we might be under stress for a day. Something might happen. You might have a car accident and you've now smashed your car, and that's put you under stress. But that kind of goes in a day or two. But there's other things that can become a weekly, monthly stress, like work situations or family relationship situations, and it's relentless and it's changing your everyday. That's when you need to kind of put things in place to help reduce that stress.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, you could be in denial as well when people actually share that you must be undergoing a lot of stress. No, I'm not. I'm fine, because we like to wear our badge of honor that we've got it all together.
Yeah.
But we've said this on numerous occasions. It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay not okay. So you need to be able to, and using the acronym of STOP, S, you stop and make a conscious decision and make a mental note of where you are. The think, or the T, is to think. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? What am I experiencing? Why am I reacting this way? The O is to observe and what's going on around me. How am I affecting people around me? My wife, my children. Am I got a really short fuse? Am I really angry, or am I really agitated? And then P, out of the stop, is to decide what you're going to do now. And that could be you need some time out for yourself. A little bit of self-care is vitally important. We talk about the oxygen mask, but it may be that you might need to seek some professional help or seek a counselor. Whatever it may be, you need to recognize that you can't just do it on your own. You need some help in your corner.
Yeah, so the P was for plan. So you set out a plan. And that might be going for a walk every day, adding in some de-stress time.
Recharging.
So, absolutely. Recharging. So go for a walk. It might be sitting on a park bench somewhere and reading, or just watching people play, watching kids play, or adults or dogs, or whatever it is that recharges you.
Water is very good.
Add it into your everyday.
I mean that. Two things about water is that actually it's very replenishing. Just for hydration, and it's
Yep.
better for us, but also looking at water, and it can actually
and
be
listening.
very and just very grounding. So when you are stressed, that can be the great benefit.
Yeah,
So
waterfalls, listening to
sea
water. Yeah,
Yeah.
any
I love
any
that.
kind of water is refreshing.
and drinking it at the same time.
Yeah.
Clean water, but
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't drink salt water and, but no, that's a good point, and I guess
Yeah.
something that I think with the planning is planning ahead of time. So you don't sort of get into the situation where you think, oh, I'm stressed, this is not good, and then try to make up a plan. Having a bit of an advanced plan to say, when I feel stressed, I will do X. And so
Yeah,
you actually have it
exactly.
ahead of time.
excellent.
So we've got our son and daughter-in-law right now. They're about to move to Romania. So they're under a lot of pressure. They're about to move to a country that's next to a war-torn country. They don't know exactly where they're going to live, what it's going to look like, how my son's new business is going to go, et cetera, et cetera. So
But we
they've got
still see God's hand of blessing upon them,
absolutely.
and
So
they're trusting in God.
absolutely. But there's a level of stress. They're leaving their families, they're leaving their friends. And so this is enormous stress. But so what they've done is they've built into every day. So just this morning, and even yesterday, our son went out for a walk and, was praying and listening to podcasts and refilling his tank. And then he gets home, and then his wife went out. And she went out for a walk and walked around the lake and looked at the ducks and was talking to God and replenishing too. And then they both come home and they're ready to start their day. And they swap out from looking after the kids. And so these kinds of things are really important to build into every day, and releasing our spouse or releasing whoever needs that. It doesn't have to be for a really long time. It can just be for 20 minutes, to re-ground, reconnect with God, just lift your spirits again.
Yeah. But it
That's
takes a
great.
discipline to do
It
that.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
for
like you
sure.
said, it's that planning to do it.
Got to have a plan.
And then some days, even when you think, well, actually, I'm not feeling it today, but I'm still going to go for that walk to get that
Yeah,
time
those
to sort of make those
routines are
routines.
really
We need
important.
those
Yeah.
plans. Love it.
That's a good point.
Oh, so good.
Interesting
And
thing that
also,
you.
and I mean, we've talked about this numerous times, how you deal with stress is going to have a flow on how your children observe how you deal with
Yes.
stress.
Yes,
So you've got to
that's so
role
true.
model
Yeah.
good stress management.
Yeah, that's a good
so
point.
true.
And I think the other thing is too to think about. I mean, obviously you're talking about your kids who have a young family, so
Yep.
balancing, because I mean, obviously you can't just say I'm going for a walk and leave the kids. You know what I mean? Like, so they're obviously managing that as well to say, well, I'll take the kids now, you take the
Yes.
kids then. So
That's part of the
working
plan.
that all together. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's
That's
all
all
planning.
important. Yeah,
Yeah.
very.
Well, it was amazing because what you look at, so my son went out first, and so my daughter-in-law made breakfast for the kids, and then she got back, and then my son was making breakfast for them for when she got back. So you're carrying the load together,
Yeah.
and really supporting each other and encouraging each other to stay healthy and well, both mentally and physically.
Yeah,
But
fantastic.
as
Love
we
it.
said before, we shouldn't do this in isolation. Whether you're married or whether you've got close friends or family members, find people that you can trust to actually put your hand up and say,
Yeah.
I need a bit of help at this time.
Yeah.
And it may be that you can provide practical support, but it also might be just a moral and emotional support.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, just
so
walk
good.
us through those four. So stop, STOP. What were the first ones? Because I remember P,
Stop,
but that was
think,
all.
observe, plan.
Stop, think, observe, plan. Okay,
Love
very
it.
good. I love it. Thanks so much. That's some
Thank
really good
you.
insight. I'm sure you'll have some great resources on your website that will deal with some of these topics as well.
Most definitely. They can just go to families.org.au.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. We look forward to chatting again next week.
That'll be
All right.
lovely. See you
Bye-bye.
then.